She slept over. That's a weird one. She spent the night. A one-night stand spending the night is like, I mean, that's like if you ordered in food and the delivery guy stayed while you ate it.
I ran into my biological father recently. I told my friend, he was like, is your biological father a good person? And I was like, if he were, I probably would not refer to him as my biological father. Most people say dad. I look exactly like him. I show my friend a picture. He was like, oh my God, it's like you guys were separated at birth. We were. I liked the cool dad when I was a kid. My friend's dad would smoke weed with us, and I was like, this guy is cool, you know? Now that I'm older, it turns out he is not cool. Turns out he's a grown man that did drugs with children, so quite the opposite. First time I met my biological father, he took me out to lunch, and the place he took me turned out to be a family-style restaurant, which, kind of ironic. They should make broken family-style restaurants. You just walk in like, where's the waiter? I think he abandoned us, I don't know, but... They forget to come out and sing happy birthday, they're like, we forgot, but... We'll make it up to you next year. Another guy comes out, he's like, I don't actually work here, I'm just banging the owner. I'll be your step waiter. Is that one too real for the crowd? Sorry. It's hard not to drink, man. It's very hard. I work in a place where there's a bar every night. I've been trying to be good. It's very difficult. I read this article that said, try to replace drinking with another activity, like tennis with a friend. I was like, yeah, that's a very helpful example. That's always the crossroads I find myself at 4:57 a.m. I can't tell you how often I'm coming out of a blackout like, fuck, I should have done doubles instead. I brought my Wilson racket and everything. You're telling me to replace an addiction with cardio? That's very helpful. I'm gonna start walking into halfway houses full of crackheads. Like, have you guys done Zumba? It's so much better than crack. They're like, thanks, we didn't know. That was helpful. Of course you want to get fucked up. Have you tried living? I'm happy and I want to get fucked up. Have you watched the news? It makes you want to drink. Another mass shooting after another mass shooting. It's always the same thing, too. It's always some guy who's like, I heard voices in my head. We all do. Everyone hears voices in their head. Good people just don't listen to them. If I listened to all the voices in my head, I would be a sometimes gay street fighter. So,
I was in a relationship 2.5 years. I never cheated once, not once. I'm on the road all the time. People are like, what's your secret? How do you stay faithful on the road? This is my secret, I'll tell you. 2.5 years, never cheated once, my secret. Not one woman tried to me. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Am I a hero? Yes, I am. I'd be alone on a plane, beautiful women walking towards me. I'd be like, this chick better not sit next to me. She'd sit next to me, we wouldn't speak the entire flight. I'd be like, that was a close call. I mean, I'm an amazing person. Then your friends pressure you to get on these dating apps. They're very intimidating. Sometimes the pictures don't even match the occupation. Just like a gorgeous woman bent over with a finger in her mouth, and you're like, St. Jude's Children's Hospital? If you say so, I'm just worried about the children at this point, you know? One of my friends was like, I got this dating site for you. Comes over, it's a prison dating site. Incarcerated women was his suggestion. And we laughed for like 5 minutes, but then like minute 6, we're like, there's some attractive women here. But then it shows you the crimes they commit, and you're like, double homicide's probably a bad idea, you know? But they have actual profiles. One of them actually said, I love the outdoors. You're like, yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, turns out you like money laundering a bit more, unfortunately, but...
How much true crime is there gonna be? Are you guys watching this like me? It's so addictive, yeah. Give it up for all these murderers for all this great content. You keep killing, we'll keep watching. That's what I say. I don't want to point fingers here, but you women are getting murdered at an alarming rate. I don't know if you're paying attention. I would recommend never going home with us, ever. If a woman goes home with you, she really trusts you, or she's taking a chance, you know. So whenever I open the door, I always turn to her and I say, hey, thanks for rolling the dice. You know what? I appreciate it. That's all I watch is murder and stand-up. I've been doing this for a while. I see comics sometimes on Netflix. I'm like, this guy fucking stinks. I wonder if murderers watch true crime. Like, this is pretty disappointing, honestly. 3 murders in 5 years? I should be the one on television.
Delta took away 20,000 of my hard-earned road comedian airline miles. This happened 6 years ago, but I'm not over it. And I called to complain, and this woman picks up the phone. She just goes, oh, we don't do this anymore. I was like, you don't do what? She was like, we don't do complaints anymore. Pardon me? She's like, yeah, you can email our complaint division, but it takes like 6 months. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Then she said, also, your mother's a I'm paraphrasing, but that's how her words made me feel, you know? I can say whatever I want as long as it's how I feel. That's what my therapist, Alan, says. So I get transferred to my next rep. She's even worse. She said, well, your miles are from 2010. We didn't start keeping track till 2011, so sorry. Yeah, she said, sorry. With an AY. It's the least sincere apology of all. You would never go to a funeral. Sorry. And if you do, that's the murderer right there. Sorry for your loss. Are you? So I said, this isn't fair. She said, well, I don't know what to tell you. I said, I feel like you're being kind of condescending. She said, oh, am I? Yeah, you're talking down to me. She said, oh, well. I'm not proud of what I said next. It was a little subtle. I said, I hope that you die in a fire. True story, she hung up on me. Look, I overstepped a little. Rude customer service, hour plus whole time. Fiery death, maybe a little extreme. I should have gone with moderate form of cancer for my insult, you know? You guys can pull back here, but I'm gonna power through because I believe in myself. I'm talking treatable stage 1 cancer. And then she shows up at the hospital and they're like, there's nothing we can do. Your insurance ran out in 2010, so. Sorry.
I've been having bad allergies, and yeah, it's bad. I go into the drugstore to get Claritin D, and they make you sign a form to prove you're not gonna make meth. Which I feel like if you're in the drug distribution business, a waiver is not really a deterrent, you know? If there's some meth kingpin going down, they're like, not only did he sell methamphetamine, he lied to Monique at Walgreens. He's a monster. That's a perk, by the way, you don't really, you don't hear about meth, that you don't get allergies. Right? That's kind of nice. You're walking around bitching about the pollen count. Some dude crawls out of a dumpster. He's like, I didn't even notice. Too busy trying to find my kids. I was been on the road a lot lately. I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I was doing a gig, and I was a little buzz, a little drunk. And I'm in the elevator, and I'm talking to this couple in the elevator. And I thought they were being nice, but they were just messing with me. Like at one point, the woman just said, so how was your night? And I said, it was pretty good. I did 2 shows. She's like, oh, you're a comedian. I said, yeah. She's like, tell us a joke then. I said, I'd rather not. This has never gone well off stage ever in my life. She's like, just tell us a joke. And I'm like, I'd really rather not. Her husband leans in and he goes, tell her a joke. It's like, what, are you going to bully me into entertaining you in the elevator? No, I'm not going to tell you a joke. And he just gets in my face. He goes, really? And they just walk out like they one-up me. And now I feel like an idiot. I'm like, why don't you just tell him a joke? You could have whipped something up. You know a lot of jokes. So I'm like, oh, hold on a second. They turn around. He's like, what? I said, I'll tell you a joke. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going to tell us a joke? I said, yeah, here's a joke. 2 hick dipshits walk into an elevator, right? And I just let the door slowly shut. Right?